Alrighty, finally got some free time. Probably a good time to see if I can upload a video here. When's the last time I had one? Hello, everyone. Yes, it's been a little while, but I'm back now, and I'm here to make videos again. So I know it's been a while. I apologize for that, but it's quality over quantity. Unless you're trying to make money on this website, in which case it is quantity over quality every single time. So today I'm going to be making a video on a figure that I've had for a while and I haven't done anything with, but I've really wanted to because it is a very important and also good figure. That being...
That Joe's surrounded by Cobras.
Yeah, but that Joe's Sergeant Slaughter.
He's joined the G.I. Joe team.
Yes, Sergeant Slaughter of the 1986 mail-away line. This is the original one, the very first one that they released. And I've had it for a while, and I've wanted to make a video for it, so here we are, we're doing it right now. The file card. Sergeant Slaughter, Drill Instructor, file name, classified top secret, serial number 817769181. Primary specialty, infantry, drill instructor. Secondary military specialty, survival trainer. Birthplace, Parris Island, South Carolina. Grade E7 Sergeant. Just about every member of G.I. Joe is qualified to be a drill instructor, so it takes a special brand of heavy-duty honcho to keep it squared away. Sergeant Slaughter fits the bill the way his bullet head fits his Smokey the Bear hat. Let's face it, the man must be rough, and he takes no guff. They say he cut his teeth on a bogey wheel from a patent tank, and that his first words were, Semper Fi. They say that when the Sarge dresses down a boot in Camp of June, the trainee cringe all the way to Pendleton. Most boots would rather die for apples than the grease trap. They say he can blow a month's pay in one night in Thule, Greenland. Of course, jarheads are prone to exaggeration. We all know it's impossible to blow a month's pay in Thule, Greenland. I'm not going to pretend like I know that last sentence, man, but I understood the rest of it. Now, if you don't know who Robert Rudolph Remus Sergeant Slaughter is, then I don't know why you're watching this video. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, you probably should know who that is by now. But if you don't, Sergeant Slaughter was a character played by Robert Rudolph Remus back in the 1980s to early 90s, and as a part of the WWF before it was the WWE, as it is now right now. Sergeant Slaughter was a character who I'm not going to pretend I was not into wrestling growing up. I've only recently got into it recently because my friends and I watch it. We watch it as a group. It's fun. It's a fun activity. But I've gone back and watched some older stuff now. And I appreciate a lot of the older wrestlers. Specifically, people like Roddy Piper, Razor Ramon, Jake the Snake Roberts, and of course, Sergeant Slaughter himself. So having this original figure means a lot, especially if you compare him to the new classified version, which, I'll be honest, this is mostly the same. The real difference is that this one specifically is based off of the design that he came with the Triple T, which they have not made yet, but I'm fairly certain they will. I'm pretty sure they're going to make that. This one is the original mail-away version with the USA on the front, the G.I. Joe logo on the side. I would not be shocked if they made this one in the line at some point. I'm pretty sure they will with the Triple T. They're on another second one, so odds are they'll make more. But Sergeant Slaughter, the mail-away, is a special figure. This is the very first real-life person to be made into a G.I. Joe figure. Now, it would not be the last. The second time that this happened will be with the football player, Refrigerator Perry. So, William Refrigerator Perry was a member of the Chicago Bears. He was a defensive tackle, and he was also released in the G.I. Joe line in 1986. Now, that would not be the last time they made a live-action person, a real human being, into a G.I. Joe figure. The first time and second times would be Sergeant Slaughter and then Refrigerator Perry. Later on, they would even make two figures that I know of. I believe there was more. But there was a Teddy Roosevelt in the 12-inch scale, as well as a Buzz Aldrin in that same scale, But we're not talking about Buzz Aldrin. We're talking about someone way cooler. Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter, a two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, a one-time WWF Champion, as well as an NWA Tag Team Champion. Sergeant Slaughter had a lot of championships under his belt back in the day. But more than that, Sergeant Slaughter was a G.I. Joe, and that is way cooler than any championship he's ever gotten. Now, I know an articulation segment might be a little old hat for a figure that came out almost 50 years ago now. Sorry, Dad. This is a toy that came out in a time when points of articulation and accessories and things like that weren't really a big deal for toys, especially for this scale, especially if you look at side by side with the Star Wars lines from Kenner at the same point. Those figures barely could do anything. They could push their arms up and kick their legs forward, and that's it. That's all they could do. The G.I. Joe line was different. You had an up and down at the head, a side to side, always on a swivel. You could rotate the arms all the way around. You could swivel them at the shoulder. You could swivel them at the bicep, up and down. You could swivel the torso. You could kick the legs forward and bend the knee. Not to mention he's coming with a weapon. He's got a swagger stick. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero from the 80s, is an integral toy line into why toys are as good as they are today. Without this, we probably would be dealing with Kenner Star Wars figures even to now. Like, the fact that this got made, and it was as successful as it was, is a reason that the G.I. Joe Classified line is so successful. It's a reason that there is a regular yearly funding campaign for HasLabs now. It all can be traced back to this. And I think it's really important, especially for toy history, that it's very important to talk about these figures from this era. But Sergeant Slaughter is really cool. Above all that stuff that is really important and important to talk about, this is just a cool toy. He's just cool. Like, every single episode, he is the center of the episode, regardless of if he wants to be or not. He just is, because he has that charisma, he has the energy, he has the aura of a person who is not better than you, but is always going to be cooler than you. And much like a Ben Folds 5 song, Sergeant Slaughter will always be cooler than you. Now, this is not the only release of this specific figure, but it is the only one that I have. But for your sake, we'll go through them very quickly. There'll be images on screen, quick little clips of maybe commercials if I can find them. But there was this original release of the figure, which is the mail away, which in my opinion is the best looking one. This is the vision in my head. I like the black tank top one with the green pants. That's pretty good too. This is the one that I see in my head, and I can't wait for this one to get released officially. After that, there was, of course, the one that came with the Triple T, which is more reminiscent of the Classified one. Then the Slaughter's Marauders one, which is in the gaudy blue and green. But I like it. It's fun. It's goofy. It fits the G.I. Joe aesthetic of being kind of dumb. So I like it a lot. There would, of course, be ones that come later. There was the one that was in like a kind of a brownish attire. You could take his hat off. That's fun, I guess. It looked weird. There was, of course, ones in the 20th anniversary line. There was obviously Sergeant Slaughter figures that came out not in the G.I. Joe line when he went back to WWE and gave his license to them, but the most recent one, of course, is the Classified one, both of them, and probably the third one will be coming out here at some point. So Sergeant Slaughter's had a lot of figures, but this is the progenitor. This is the original of that. Now, according to the G.I. Joe special offers, which I have right here, Sergeant Slaughter, all you would need for him is $3 and 2 flag points. Now, could you imagine, for one moment, Hasbro ever doing this again? Because I cannot. So I'm eternally bummed that I did not grow up in that era, simply because of the way that you could get toys and the access to them and the quality of them. Not to say that the toys that are released now are bad, because I disagree with that entirely. I think they're fantastic, but there's something different, something unique about a original Soundwave like that I have right here. There's something different about a original Sergeant Slaughter. There's something different about it that I can't put into words, but I feel like if you know it, you know it. Like the fact that you could buy a USS flag. Now, most of you didn't. Almost everyone didn't have one, but you could. You could get that. Now, if you want a vehicle for your Joes, with the vamp right there, which is cool, by the way. I really like it. It's a really cool vehicle. You're gonna have to fork over some heavy-duty change. You're gonna have to go and do a HasLab or something. But with this, like, let's take a look real quick. Oh, you want what is this? You want a water moccasin? Oh, $5 and 4 flag points, please. You want a Cobra Commander? That's $1.75 and a flag point. That is absurd to me. As someone who was not born in that time, as someone who did not grow up in that time, that is absurd. That is beyond my recognition of idea. Like that doesn't work in my head. But I wish it did. I wish that was still a thing, because I vaguely remember when I was younger, Power of the Force line, you could do stuff like that. And that was only like 2090s, but that's not a thing anymore. Prices have gone up, inflation's gone up, the economy's dying. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on how cool this figure is. And I want to focus on the fact that you're still here after I have spent the last, how many minutes? Yeah, oh, that many? Okay. That many minutes rambling about this toy that came out 40-ish years before I was born. But I really appreciate that you are here and you stuck around for it. It should be Father's Day by the time this video gets uploaded, so happy Father's Day to any parents out there, to any fathers out there who raised their kids on old toys and who showed their kids cartoons growing up that they grew up watching. And thank you to my dad specifically for getting me into this hobby that I love so dearly, for indoctrinating me as a little kid. And I could not be more grateful for it. And it's the reason I have this channel. So thank you to my dad specifically for that. And I hope you're not going to kill me because I opened this up. But I really wanted to make a video for it. So, happy Father's Day to any fathers out there. If you liked this video, if you liked whatever this was, because this was just nonsense and me rambling at a camera for, again, however many minutes it's been, thank you so very much for sticking into this. If you liked it, please comment what you thought below. If you want to see more videos like these, because I'll be honest, I was winging this. I had a script written out and I completely ignored it. So if you like that, let me know. I believe I'm going to be doing something here for the Duke and Cobra Commander books that have just come out, and if you'd like those, I'll also do one for the Destro and the Scarlet books that have also released. So if you'd like that, let me know. I can do that. So yeah, just everything that needs to get done, all the interactions, whatever down below. Thank you for sticking out of this. Yeah. So thank you to Sarge.